Hello, hello. Welcome back. Or welcome for the first time. I am going to do a couple of pre-stream audit checklist. Yeah. Like a pre-flight checklist, but I'm going to do a pre-stream checklist real quick and just verify audio and video is working. Then we'll get started. Yeah, let's see here. Make sure I'm working on Twitch. There it is. Volume sounds pretty good. Yeah, I could definitely be closer to the mic and pay more attention to my volume. But we'll just try and have something that's a little bit, works in a range. So I might not be paying attention to that while I am doing code. Let's see here. Where's my channel? Sorry. So Twitch works. Now let's try YouTube. And YouTube sounds good too. All right. Let's see here. Make sure I've got my chat management up. So I always seem to get at least one or two spammies per stream. Let's see if I go in here. I don't need the preview. I just need the chat. Settings. All right. I think chat. You know what? I never see chat on coming from YouTube. Let me make sure that works real quick. Oh, yeah. Nope, there it is. Okay, good. Should be able to keep up in case people decide to participate. All right, so let me catch you all up to where we're at and what we're doing. So there is a tool I've been checking out called Mem. Boom. I don't think. Yeah, all right. This isn't showing too much, right? So sorry. This is why I need to prepare, you know? All right, anyhow. So it looks and feels pretty similar to something like Notion, but it definitely is more like personal knowledge creation and management. So we've got things like chat, which is general, from what I understand, is general to the entire workspace, or Copilot, which is more specific to what you're doing. It's not super clear, and I haven't used it enough to quite get that clarity yet. But I have tested things like the email integration, so they allow for things like they've got a Zapier integration as well as API, which is what we're gonna be working with here, and then the email, so you can email basically from a verified address to an ingestion address, and it will process and dump those into your notes. So this was an email it's sent to me from the Waking Up newsletter. They send a lot of stuff. I actually need to unsubscribe from some of it because it's more than what I bargained for. But anyhow, great for testing. Lots of quotes and things like that. So I sent them over here to test it out. It was ingested. Works great. I was looking at the API and said, like I have things that I use, like the Notion API to add things to. Well, basically, I've got like a note list notes. I have a tool that I set up that can go through and do summarization and knowledge extraction from either like a YouTube video or a web page, and then it can take that summary and the notes and add it to a list on a Notion page that I have. And that's super useful. I feel like this could do the same thing, maybe even easier. But then, of course, it's not connected to my Notion. But, if this is Zapier enabled, I mean, in theory, I could probably, create a connection between Notion and this through Zapier. Blah, blah, blah. Not super, super important. They don't have an SDK. I want to fix that. That's the long story short. So I've never used Taskmaster AI. If you're not familiar with it, it is a tool that is meant to be used with like Claude or Cursor to help your AI assistant stay on task, more or less. So I'm trying this option 1 method, and I added the Taskmaster AI MCP server along with a Google key and an OpenAI key. I don't have credits currently on like any of these other services, so hopefully it works with that. So I added that to my Cursor. If you go to Cursor settings and go to MCP, I would click on it and I would show you, but it exposes some API keys, and yeah, not going to do that. Anyhow, so according to the rules here, it says you can enable the server and then ask it to add, to initialize the project, which it's going to do. Wow. All right. I mean, that was very straightforward. Okay. Let's see here. So it created cursor rules for me. Neat. Wow. Okay. Hopefully none of this has like API keys and stuff in it. Let's find out. All right. So cursor rules. Oh, I'm so interested. All right. Sorry. So curious. It called it, right? Yeah, that's interesting. So it's like got this down here asking if I want to enable the MCP server, but it seems like it's used it already. Interesting. Okay. All right. So next step, enable MCP in your editor. Got that. Prompted. Got that. Use common commands directly through API assistant. Can you parse my PRD? What's the next task? Can you help you? Okay. What does a tutorial look like? Okay. So my question is, what is this product requirement document supposed to look like? Would you like help creating one? Yeah, I would love help creating one. Would appreciate. Oh, I can't spell. All right, let's see what it does here. Okay. So the name of the project. Project name MAI SDK. TypeScript. This is so we'll say this is description or overview. SDK for mem AI REST API. Should I, let's see here, here it is. Go ahead and add this link. And I don't know. If the Markdown format's going to help, but it's not going to hurt it. All right. Let's see here. Main features. We're going to have client. It's your API client. I guess we'll zoom into this one. It'll create a client using the API key. Functions to call all of the mem AI API endpoints. Let's see here. There is some sort of rate limiting. So let's go ahead and built-in rate limiting. Default to 100 requests per day. Ooh. I wonder if that's resetting on, oh man, that's gonna be hard. Cause like it'd be easy to do like rate limits per minute, per hour, or whatever. When you're talking about per day, especially, when does it reset and how does it reset? Like, does each call expire after 24 hours opening up new calls, or does it reset at midnight? You know, like not knowing those things, we probably need to just handle the errors gracefully, or handling for things like rate limit exceptions. Where's rate limit? What would that be called? Error handling things for like gracefully handle rate limit errors. All right. Besides the API client, we also want docs SDK docs. Searchable chat with doc options. And then we're gonna have MCP server. Provides instruction on how to use. I want this to provide instructions on how to use both REST API as well as the new TypeScript SDK that we're developing. Okay, these are the main features I want. Success criteria. I'm able to publish the SDK to npm JS. And host the the SDK, I guess, and MCP server, because that should be running. I mean, most of those things, most of them like run locally. There are server-side event-driven ones instead, I think, that I would host, but that's not what I'm looking. I don't think that's what we need here. Ideally, this would package up and people would be able to, it would just be running the npm command and it'll run locally. Able to publish the SDK and MCP server to npm.js.com and host the docs site on Vercel. All right. Let's see what this gives us. Also, I need to create the GitHub repo for this. Repository. Let's see, what is this giving us? All right. Oh, hold on, let me do this. Sorry, so I'm creating a new repository. We're gonna call it mem AI SDK. SDK for the mem.ai REST API. It's going to be public. We will add our own README and licensing and all of that. And now I can just go ahead and add, if we stage the changes, let's see here. I don't think, okay, I've already got the get ignore and everything, so we're okay. Sorry, I'm reading this now because that's how that's how my ADHD works. Shiny squirrel. All right. Let's see here. So this is actually the thing. The other one was specifically for the authentication part, which is just token based. Yep. Sorry, just it. You know, type safe, all available API endpoints. All right, so got the API client, creates client. It's basically all the things that I was asking for. SDK documentation. And I don't know how, I haven't actually done this for a docs site before, so I don't know if like the modern doc tooling, yeah, I don't know exactly how we're going to solve this one yet, and it's kind of a lower priority. Searchable is just standard though. It really needs to be integrated for sure. And then the MCP server, I think, is just, yeah, it's enabling other people to use your SDK. Like I think having an MCP server, like if you have a doc site, you should have an MCP server that provides this, like the same information, because it's going to make the developer experience so much better. People are going to be able to more correctly implement your package in the way that you intended for it to be done. All right. Yes, yes. Ideally, people, this is internal. I mean, you should be able to use whatever package manager you want after it's hosted, after it's been published. Integration. That's a good call out. No client-side exposure of the API key. No server-side usage of the SD. Only server-side usage of the SDK. Yeah. Well, like this is best practice for sure. But if you wanted to create an internal tool that you can use yourself, and you want to have it all client side, like it's a React application, I don't care, but like you don't want your API key visible to people outside of your, yeah, you don't want it bundled as part of your software when you publish it. No support for legacy endpoints, only current. Sure, okay. I don't think that they have any legacy ones yet, but this looks good. All right. Okay, so the next thing, it's going to parse the PRD and create the tasks. Yes. Please assist me. Help me parse the PRD. Okay. So this is calling the parse PRD MCP tool that is provided by the Taskmaster. Okay. Oh. Well, that's a bummer. It requires perplexity. Huh. I mean, it does say that it requires, now that I'm looking at requirements, and it says, words are hard. All right, it says it requires the Anthropic API key, which my one gripe about Anthropic, they expire your API credits, which I think is trash. Like Anthropic, do better. Like I know companies need to be able to have predictable whatever, but like I can't even remember. It was like 6 months. Like after 6 months, your API, like whatever prepaid credits you have, expire. That's absolutely stupid. Maybe if your credits are getting more expensive because your computer's getting more expensive, like you need to reduce. Like, hey, it's like you paid $5 for you paid $5, but this is the thing, is it's already just dollar value. So just consume more of the dollar value. Anyways. This is unfortunate. I mean, I know it's called Claude Taskmaster, but like I was really hoping this would be better. Huh. Sorry, I'm trying to figure like, and also now it's saying I need a perplexity one too, and like I haven't like I don't want all these unpredictable costs. Or I can just go back to I'm going to ask it. I mean, can you use OpenAI instead of Perplexity? Rats. And like, it's all like, why wouldn't... That's so weird. I'm sure there's a reason. I just wish I knew what it was, right? Like, why does the... I'm going to look now. That's your MCP server. Source. Tools. Parse PRD. All right, what is this actually doing? All right, so it's supposed to automatically create tasks. It's giving parameters such as where things are at for what the tool usage, I'm assuming. Yeah, this is creating a tool. But so far, I mean, like it should be able to use anything for this tool. Well, any tool enabled LLM, right? Okay, I'll probably have to look at this because so far I'm not seeing anything yet. So parse PRD direct is here. Got that. Got that. Got that. We got that. All right, let's just search Perplex. Perplexity is not even... Trying to see, like, it's not even... Again, not listed in here. I mean, if it's not there and it's not... Where is this requirement coming from? All right, we're searching perplexity. All right, so it's a provider. That's great. Scripts PRD. So this is optional, right? It has a bunch of tasks, like internal tasks. Not too concerned about the tasks. I want to know... Update. Sorry. I want to know function-wise. Yeah. Where is the requirement coming from? Oh gosh, I've got multiple pages. Okay. Maybe it's because I don't have the Claude one either. Yeah, thanks, Argon. Yeah, like I wonder if I add a Claude key, if it would still require the perplexity key, and it does say that it requires Claude. So Anthropic. I'm gonna see how tricky it would be to add, you know, $5 to, oh, sorry, API. Log into the sorry, disappearing. I'm logging into the Anthropic console off screen just to protect API keys and passwords and stuff. But let's see here. Wait, I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry. Apparently it's email-based authentication. It's fine. Sign in. Okay. Sorry. Just exacerbated about how Claude handles their credits, because I should have. Yeah, because I bought $25 worth, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna let this hang out here. No, I just want $5 because you guys expire them after however fucking long. 6 months, I think. No, not auto reloading. All right. And I'm gonna have to pull this off to the other screen real quick because the API keys are, wait, what? Well, I just see another thing now too. It overwrote. Oh wait, no, this is a local versus global thing. Sorry, let me just verify cursor settings. If I go to MCP into globals, taskmaster, so it's gonna have 2 now. I will turn off the global one then, and we'll just use the project specific one. I didn't even know that. That makes sense. Project specific MCPs versus, sorry. Just heard about Cursor because their support AI told their customers that you can't have multiple instances ID. Yeah, well, and like they have different not different agents. They have a lot of different models that you can use. Actually, there's a lot less now. Sorry, let me finish what I'm doing so I can pull this back over to the other screen. Okay, so I've got my $5 API keys. Let's set up a new key for this. I'll call it Taskmaster. Copy. And we're gonna put that there. We're gonna close it. We're gonna close that. Okay. Yeah, so like there used to be more, and I wonder if maybe I probably need to turn on max mode or something, but well, that's interesting. Of course, it's picking the cheapest model by default. Well, let's try switching actually to thinking model. But they also have, do they still have it as, oh, it's not even, they had their own. It was like called Cursor. It looks like they've stopped trying to support that now. Cool. I mean, that's, oh, you know what? Actually, there was, let's see here. Models. There we go. Yeah. Cursor small. DeepSeek R1. So you can come in here and choose other ones that you might want to have access to. And I do like having, there we go. I don't need to have the thinking all the time, but I like having access to it. I like 3.7 over 3.5. And all right, anyhow. I like Cursor a lot. When paired with 3.7 Sonnet, it has been like proactively figuring out things, especially for stuff like adding different, like I created a number of new API endpoints for a like Fastify based API, and after I'd done like the third one, it just created the fourth one for me because it could tell based on the patterns what was next, and it kept doing these things like proactively, which can be, you know, it can make those guesses and end up causing problems too, but it was really surprising with how well it worked. Anyways, so let's see here. Let's try this again. Let's see if it'll do. Let's just ask it to try again. Untool. Yeah. Huh. I wonder if I need to be... Set main to GPT-4. Oh, so it can set the main model? All right. Yeah, like just a year ago, this sort of tooling was not particularly useful. Oops, sorry. So that still failed. Yeah, because it's still trying to use perplexity, even though it's... Huh. Sorry. But yeah, they improve. They've been improving rapidly, and it really is like it's exponential. I know there's a lot of people who are still like talking both sides of the fence about, AI is taking AI is going to take jobs. AI is not going to take jobs. Like Google's already admitted that they're, developing like 20 or 25% of their code that they've made so far this year has all been with AI. And it, they still have their same strict standards. So we're not just talking like vibe coding, right? And it's only going to get, the worse is the word that I want to use, but like it's not necessarily like a good bad thing. It's like AI is amazing, but people choose to use tools how they choose to use tools, and when a company's bottom line is profits, then and not solving a problem or not their people, right? Like you can have a company and it can be very wildly successful, and your or your metrics are based on having happy having happy employees, and solving problems, and you're not going to run into these problems like ethically or whatever. But if you're just optimizing for dollars, you're going to have less programmers and you're going to have more AI. And that's just kind of how, capitalism works, right? So anyhow, so what is the thing still? I wonder if I create a .env file, like what if I fill out this stuff? Let me do that off screen real quick. I'm going to .env, maybe the Taskmaster. I mean, maybe the package, the published version of Taskmaster might have some sort of bugs in it where it's looking for, environment variables instead. I could also restart the IDE. Actually, before I create the .env file, let me just try restarting the IDE, because it is possible that the MCP server just needs to reload. And let's create a new chat. Can you please parse the PRD text file or to create tasks? Okay, so it knows to use Taskmaster. We've already initialized the project. No. I've already initialized project. There we go. It's thinking a whole lot harder this time. No, still. Oh my gosh. Set main to Claude 3 Opus. We can try that. Wait, it said it. Why is it looking again? Yeah, we just did that, didn't we? Oh, now it's going to set it 3.5. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is getting, yeah, I'm already 41 minutes into the stream, and like, I guess if this all was just working, it'd be great, but the way that I've been doing it in the past seems like it has a lot less. Wait, it's still, why would there be an OpenAI error? I thought it just set this, and it says successfully set. Sorry, I'm gonna check. Sorry, I gotta pull this off screen again. Let me look at the taskmaster. I'm curious where. Let's see, where is it? Okay. This looks safe to show. So here's our models, how they're set. I want it to use Google. Can I do that? Google. Let's see here. Does the, which one had the list? List available models. Anthropic. OpenAI. Sorry. I don't need to keep saying that. Google. There we go. I have a very low rate limit with the 2.5 Pro, but I believe I have a really high rate limit with the 2.5, or relatively high rate limit with the 2.5 Flash. Research, I could have try using the Gemini 2.5 Pro. And fallback, we'll leave, I guess, on that. All right. So all that said and done, I definitely need to restart the MCP server. Well, not definitely. I'm assuming I need to restart the MCP server. So I'm just going to go into MCP under cursor settings and hit, no, I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to turn it back on again and refresh. Okay, it's in the green. Let's try this again. Can you please parse the PRD text file to create tasks? I think that's right. Oh, I should have switched from the thinking back to the, just go to regular Sonnet. All right, at least this time it recognizes that it's already been initialized. So we're going to call parse PRD. And if this doesn't work, I can also, I'm going to probably run that update because I didn't realize that my cursor's out of date at all. Yeah, if you're still around, Argon, if you are looking at this as an example of, you know, whether or not AI tooling works well or not, this is a bad example because oh, look at that. It is working now. But it's a bad example because I am learning something new here. And even with the AI tooling, there is still learning curves. And if this Taskmaster stuff works out, then it could help accelerate things even further, but it also might just be a waste of time. So we'll see. Let's see here. Get tasks. Cool. So we got tasks. Let's look at what they might be. Set up project repository. Cool. Yep. Neat. So it's got a bunch of stuff. This all looks good. For your TypeScript compilers, just all the basic setups and stuff. Mem client. Oh, because it's Mem AI. I'm like, what is Mem client? I've never heard of that before. Because it doesn't exist yet. It will soon. All right, let's see here. So what's next? So all tasks have appropriate priorities, dependency setup. You can now use Taskmaster next. Let's try that. Oh, and I had set up the GitHub thing a while ago, didn't I? And I need to add that. So I'm going to go ahead and add this stuff. Let's see here. Is anything in here that rats? Yeah, because that's going to have an API key in it. Don't like. I guess that's where the .env should come in. So can I get rid of the... All right, before I commit that, I'm going to see if I can get rid of the API keys that are in the mcp.json file and then just put them in the .env, and then that will be a lot more straightforward. But in the meantime, the rest of this stuff is fine, I think. And if anything else ends up with an API key in it, I'll just have to refresh it. All right. So we're going to go ahead and create a commit. So this is first commit taskmaster initialized and tasks and prd parsed. Cool. Now I can grab these commands right from the GitHub repository stuff. So I'm going to make the branch main instead of master. It's the default. And then I'm going to add the remote, and I'm going to push everything. Beautimous. Okay. Now, what was this doing? Okay, task 1. There's a lot of boilerplate, or just a lot of like things to learn with this. So like when you're ready to set up the work on this task, you can use this to mark it in progress. I mean, this is, I guess it's neat from like a project management perspective. If this was like, that's what this needs to be tied in to like, or have a bunch of different optional tie-ins instead of having these tasks and having everything managed within here. Manage it, like give options to manage it through like Notion, Jira, MemAI, whatever it might be. Let's see here. Well, let's try this. Because part of this is about setting up the SDK. The other part of this is about learning this tool. Yes. It asked me if it wants help. If I want help. Sorry, it definitely needs help. No, yes, I would like help. All right. I probably want these in packages instead of Oh, it had it right here. This is fine. I can move things later. That's probably not what I want to do, but it's fine. It's fine. All right, and then we're gonna init. Beautiful. You now have this. Great. It's updating that. This looks fine for now. I think I'm on like 9 or something for PNPM, but we can figure that out. Let's see here. Create README, okay. Add license. Is it like MIT? Creating file structure. Updating git ignore. Let's see here. Accept. Sorry, I should be reviewing it. Said this was fine. What else do we have? The README. Yes. It's fine. Yep, MIT. That's great. I'm sure this will be changed. It's actually doing a lot of, because we're still on step 1, right? Tasks, step 1. I guess it's based on what it's trying to do here. Oh, sorry. It wanted to update that, and I needed to give it permission, and I missed that. Yeah. It's fine. Like, it was already there, but that's fine. Yes. Yes. Probably. Yes, okay. All right, so that's step 1. So now that it's been, hey, Sabir, welcome. Now that this is set up, I mean, I can see the potential value here, right? I think that's fine. All right. Yes. Let's see here. Yes, I'm one of those people who says please and thank you to the robots. I have reasons. my reasons are as follows. First and foremost, I do not want to become lazy and stop using pleases and thank yous in general, because my brain, our brains are wired for the patterns that we use. Yeah, so step 2 is about adding all of this sort of stuff, so that sounds fine. Oh yeah, there's a new PNPM update I need to do. We're actually getting to 10 now. I think we might have been on 10 before, but that's fine. Let's see, the ESLint is that. That looks like a V8 ESLint. not a v9. But I guess we'll get there. Excellent. Yeah. Because that needs to be eslint.config.js. Let's see here. Eslint v9 requires eslint config.js file. Other than the old JSON. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it before that because it is gonna fail anyways, and I'd rather have it know why it's failing. Oh, sorry. Sometimes it is really clear to me that it needs input, and other times I completely miss it for some reason. I have to pay more attention. Yep, and I do want to use type module. I was actually thinking about that when I was reading the TypeScript. The tsconfig.json. Yep. But I figured we'd get there. That's not quite right. Module resolution, I think, needs to be something else. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I guess we'll find out. I thought we got rid of that. Wait, what? What did I miss? Hold on. Didn't we get rid of that and create a new one? eslint.config. Okay, there's the eslint config. Okay. Whatever. That's gone. It's gone. We've got it. Cool. I don't know about loosening things for development. I mean, I guess it's fine for this step specifically. All right, we're getting through. I do wonder if, I don't know, I feel like it's being more thorough, but I wonder if I did a one shot, if I created a single command that was more, oh, here's a run tool. Tasks, let's look at 3. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if I could have done all of this easier without Taskmaster. I mean, obviously, the learning curve slowed things down, but I feel like I could have created a SDK in less time, but that's okay. We're learning. That's the point. All right. Sorry, the please and thank you thing. So number 1, I don't want to get out of practice. Number 2, like people did experiments with like bribing the AI, like I'll give you a tip if you get this thing right, you know, blah blah blah. And it had varying degrees of helpfulness, and I just kind of feel like adding the please and thank you literally gives it like slightly more. Let's see if search will do it. But yeah, if it helps at all. And then of course the last one being just, you know, when the robots take over, I want them to remember like, hey, this guy was nice. All right, so creating a bunch of new types. This looks good. That is much more what I would expect. Excellent. Excellent. I need to remember this for later, just in case it does not. Well, I'm assuming it's not going to, unless there is a step for it specifically. I guess that could add a like hardening step at the end. I mean, this is verbose. I feel like this is almost more like almost what's based on what was generated versus like what is generated by compiling a package versus like how one would actually create it. But I'm okay with this for now. It's well defined. I would probably use odd and create schemas and whatnot, and then derive the types from that. But yeah, I didn't tell it to do that, so you know, why would it? Missing commands again. These should be expected, I'm assuming, because we haven't done that yet. I like that it's creating tests and such. I don't know about having it in the same folder, but if this is... Sorry, I did read that. It's just... config, basic config, good, okay. Base URL. Oh. That's going to be... Oh, you know what? I don't know what... Let's see here. Nope, not authentication. Guys, let's see. Base URL is this. There we go. And it did not have a trailing slash, so I will not leave a trailing slash. Okay. The just is good. Test is now interesting. Huh. Why is it doing it that way, I wonder? Probably because of this here, but I don't know exactly why. It's fine. All right. Let's see here. Task ID. Where is it tracking? I bet it's tracking in here. This is a really good opportunity, I think, for me to go ahead and run the update, but I wanted to okay, anyways, sorry, we just did 3, and so now we should be on 4. Yep. Okay. Or, you know what, before I do that, I'll hit the update. It's gonna take a second. Actually, can I tell? If I look at my applications, when was it updated? Cool. Looks like it's there. The Linux updater does not automatically reload it, at least not the way I have it configured. So, awesome. Please continue to next step. What is the downside to saying please and thank you? Yeah, literally energy consumption. If you want to think about being hugely, if you want to think about optimizing, it's an extra token. It's reading that extra token. It is responding to that extra token. It's creating patterns where it's potentially going to be saying please and thank you, adding additional tokens. So yeah, yeah, I think it was OpenAI. I think it was Sam Altman was talking about its cost. It has a cost, and it's weird to think about. All right, what's it creating for us now? Yep, we need to be able to set the API key. Would like the API key, you know, to default to using a constructor, but having it be optional, where you can just put it in the .env and have it read from the environment. But why is it updating these? Let's see. Okay, what else did it change? Let's just double check. Yeah, we got their bearer. Here's a request handler. Okay. This all looks pretty straightforward. Documentation's good. Got new tests. Looks good. Run those tests. We're passing. Good. Oh, I see. So it's linting rules to help with jest testing. Huh. Okay. Oh, I kind of have to accept that. And run the lint. I do like to think, I like to keep linting and whatnot as strict as possible without affecting affecting the ability to develop. Like once it gets so terse that people can't make progress, then it's not doing its job anymore. But they are guardrails to help, especially in like multi-developer environments, right? That you want to make sure like formatting rules, you want to make sure when you commit stuff that you're not having like, you know, every single line be a change because the tabs are different, or one person uses semicolons and the other person doesn't. You know, one person's using quotes and the other person's using doubles, you know, things like that. Like it really affects, it's a lot of that's guardrails for Git and consistency. Readability is definitely there. Like I don't care if I'm going to use single quote or a double quote. The ESLint did the math, and a lot of their stuff is based on like efficiency, right? So they did the math and they said, this is like a 50.01% add crossfetch. I don't know about crossfetch. I'm going to look at that. Do not blindly use. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. Do not blindly use packages recommended by AI. You don't know if they're going to be like poisoned. You don't know if, okay, last published 5 months ago. No, the browser works React Native. Okay, this looks like it should just. So this is like, yeah, the universal fetch API that is going to work the same in Node browsers, workers, and React Native. And I think that is pretty solid. And when you're doing an SDK, having maximum compatibility definitely sounds like something we want to be prioritizing. So let's use that. Sorry, what was I talking about before? Oh, yes, Lint. Yeah. Also, the best. Sorry. So yeah, they did the math, and they said basically like 50 point or it's gonna have. One of them's gonna have different reasons that you. Sorry, how do I say this? When you're using single quotes and double quotes, the rules are slightly different and they support slightly different strings, right? The way you escape things, the way you if you use single quotes, you need to escape the single quotes that are inside, but if you use double quotes, you need to escape double quotes inside. And basically they found that like whether you use singles or doubles, the exceptions are minimally different. It really does come down to a preference thing, whereas a lot of the rules are actually going to save you exceptions, save you thinking, and there's a lot of just kind of helping me enforce my own best practices and whatnot. Let's see, what do we got? So these are our errors. Okay. So we got custom error handlers. Good. So we should be able to, if we got type safe errors that we can use to tell what's going on, we're adding those to our, I like types over interfaces, speaking of, although there are bigger differences between those now. Okay. Still working on this one. Okay, I was like, why is that? Okay, all right. And now it's updating the tests. 0. So what do we have here? Bring the fetch now. We added the handle error response. Building the URL. Getting the headers. It's going to be using I'm assuming it's removing this because now it's going to be using its own, the error classes. Like it's going to handle the error instead of throwing the error. I mean, I like doing it ahead of time, but that's okay. Yeah, because this is going to go ahead and send even if it doesn't have the bearer, it just now is going to handle the bearer or handle the error when it's come up, which I'm not. I mean, I'd be happier with both. I mean, I don't. Why send the request if you know it's going to fail anyways, right? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's okay. All right. Wow, it's it ran out of context here. For sure. Oh, speaking of, I'm actually going to switch over to Gemini. I don't need it. I don't need the thinking part, but wait, do I need a different one, or do these just think by? That's default. Anyways, Gemini has a significantly larger context window. I actually don't know what Claude's. What is the? I'll look real quick. Let me just pull up documentation from Anthropic. Docs, models, all models. 3.7. Yeah, so it's got a 200,000 token context window, which is a lot. But nothing compared. I mean, it's not nothing. A fifth of what you're gonna have with Gemini at 1 million tokens. I'm actually surprised that this has run out just in this amount of time. There must be a lot of additional tokens within these, especially within, let's hear, like things like this, reads, lists, stuff like that, that are going to have a lot more than what it shows. All right. Okay, so it's thinking we've already done task 5. Is that the one we just finished? So this is an interesting thing to be thinking about as it's running through all of these. As it's running through, it ran out of context. It forgot where it was. It forgot what it was doing. And it kind of, I don't know what it, lost in the context. Like, what did it drop that this is where it ended up? Sorry, I can accept this. This still has a thing because it is declared but never read. We'll get there. Tests, response. Response is not defined. Is it not importing response from? Well, we'll get there. Am I still live? Looks like it. I'll start a new task, I guess. So what was the, let's see here, we're gonna start a new, and what was the, I feel like there was, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place this morning. Where is, no, that's not it. Sorry, I'm looking for, I think I might have closed it. The Taskmaster GitHub. Okay, so this is this. Yeah, what are our Taskmaster? Can I just do Taskmaster next? Because that's what it was trying to do before, right? Thought we already did that. Okay. We need to make sure it's here. Can we get the response type from cross? What is it called? It was crossfetch, right? Yeah. Looks like I did it. Okay. All right. That is good. Can I just ask what's next? Cool. Let's see here. Is this task complete? Or are there additional steps to finish it? I'll just say continue working on this task. There we go. This is one thing that I think either Cursor or a tool like Taskmaster could do a lot better, and that's like keeping track of architectural decisions. Like, I put this here and this is why. That was something that I was like, this is why I looked into Taskmaster, and I'm relatively impressed with how well it's keeping track of stuff. I was trying to do a lot of this kind of manually, creating the steps and moving through them. Maybe even if it just had like, yeah, just, I don't know, just a running tally of like what has been done and the reasoning behind it, more or less. Some quick reference. Oh, would you like me to yeah, like, it shouldn't have to guess at what has been implemented so far and how. So I'm going to have it review the existing request method versus the requirements, and if it has implemented all necessary features, ensure any appropriate tests get written. That's yes, that's a lot of tokens right there. A lot of thinking. So yeah, I generally like Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's still working. Anyways, yeah, I know that Gemini 2.5 Pro actually has better scores for coding, but in practice, I find 3.7 Sonnet works better for at least the sort of TypeScript stuff that I do. I don't do any's, but in tests, it is, let's see here, it is appropriate. I hope that doesn't give an excuse to write bad tests. Yeah, I don't do any's. That's one of those best practice things that if you avoid any's, your code's gonna be better. It's just gonna be better. What? I'll just do this for the whole file. Okay. Okay. Because, yeah. Sorry, and if that's not clear, it's like client is any because client. Is this mock? Where is the client coming from? Maybe because it hasn't been implemented yet fully. That's okay. What was the final thing that we needed to do? I'm just gonna create a new one. Taskmaster next. So we're on this. I'm gonna ask it to mark it as complete because I think that's fine. All right. Please update task 6 to in progress and begin implementation. Theo's got a stream going. I say that, but it's Wednesday. It's the day he normally streams. I want to get this done, and going over to his stream is probably going to distract me. Sorry. Okay. Yep, there we go. Setting the task status. I'm just getting some music going on my end. because it helps me to have some background noise. Okay. Oh, it's giving me its whole wow. Okay. So it's listing out what it's planning on doing. It read what the implementation is. Its plan is to modify the request instead of immediately throwing an error. Implement a retry. Yes. Okay. Yes, and it's got a max retries. Perfect. Okay. And then it's going to enhance this. It's going to enhance the errors so that it can use it. It's going to update the options, and then it's going to add the tests. Oh, cool. That's interesting. It didn't do that before. It's updating the task with the plan. Let's see. This is task 6, right? Yeah. Did it do subtasks for any of the other ones? No. I wonder why it decided to do that for this one. That's interesting. All right. Oh, I should go back to my there. Make sure I've got chat. All right, what did we get? So in the error handler, we're implementing the retry. Oh, I guess I should wait until it's done with that file until I really start trying to dig into it. Oh, again. Yeah, as long as it's got errors, it's gonna keep trying. Wait, did it just... It was thinking about eliminating crossfetch, which I still think because yeah, browser and node should basically be the same. Oh, sorry, I gotta Twitch spam. Do I not have these already? Come on. Can I copy that? Where's my dev deps types? Oh, I don't have types node installed. Yeah, I definitely need those. Okay. And then let's restart the TS server. What am I also missing here? What's the other type that's... We got types node. I mean, that should have set timeout. That's funny. It says it's not defined, but then it also shows the definition. I might just need to close and reopen it. Sorry. Yeah, let's just try closing and reopening real quick. Oh, yeah, because I probably needed to restart the ESLint server too. Okay. Huh. Yeah, how is it saying that it doesn't know these things and then it's showing, literally showing what it is? I'm missing something here. Oh, probably because I need the compiler options. Nope. Yes. And then we will restart the TypeScript server again. Also, yeah, is ES 2020 module resolution. Okay, node next is fine. Module. There we go. Okay, yeah, so. Huh. Why is abort signal not defined? It should be just by adding the DOM thing. I have to close and open it again. Is this not being included correctly? Include is source everything, so that is in source. Okay, sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to clear my throat in the mic. Sorry about that. All right, so what am I missing here? I've got no, that they are added, right? Dev, deps, types node, yeah. Okay, types node, types just. I'm just gonna look at one of my other projects. Let's say. Wait, oh, yeah, not undefined, unfiltered. All right, let's look at this. So this is 2022 DOM and DOM iterable. That might be helpful. And then in packages, dev deps, types node, types ESLint. I am not using React DOM, so yeah, I shouldn't need those. Huh. Oh, what version of, yeah, what version of node, huh? Good question. Oh, 22. And it's using 20, yeah. Here, so I added DOM to the lib array and installed types node. Still getting these errors. Suggest a fix. It's not defined, but it's defined. Oh my gosh. What am I missing here? There's something. This is weird. I know I've used these types before. I'm so curious why it's struggling so much with them, like especially like the Node.js thing. Okay, I think we're okay. It's going to do tests now, which is awesome. I'll finish reviewing this. I'm just going to accept so I can see what it is in total, not just what the changes are. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Like, I feel like it did kind of similar to like what I would oftentimes do, and that's like try and find the right way, try and find the way to fix the thing that's not working the way I expect, and then after trying 2 or 3 times, just saying, all right, what's the other way, because I'm spending too much time on this. I would kind of hope that like that tools like this would be a little bit sharper, be able to resolve those things a little bit better. Cool. So testing wise, we now have test for the rate limiter. I mean, it makes sense so far. I just did that. Oh, I don't think that that is necessary. It can try. That's fine. It's been marked as complete overall. Oh no, there. I mean, I don't know if it updated itself, but it did it. All right. Okay. We're gonna do new. So let's say Taskmaster AI next. I'm just gonna clear out the last one. Yeah, I feel like it's mixed. Like as far as if it holds the history well, it does a good job. But especially when it has to do like a lot of retrying, things just get really messy, and it's usually better to start a new chat. But if sorry. What was I gonna say? Sorry. Yeah, If you can hold context and it's not super messy, it's generally really good to hold that context, and it will actually save you. It'll be more capable, but there's other times where yeah, and I've noticed it especially where it's had to retry and interesting. Analyze project complexity. That's a new one. We're learning all kinds of things. Yeah, those retries create a lot of noise that and bad examples of like what it's supposed to do, right? So to think that that context then has history of things that don't work, and you want to limit context that has stuff that doesn't work because it will poison your downstream results. I almost want to do this again after I finish this. So it choked on the expanding. Oh, it's trying to use the research model. Although the research model is the same, right? Like I'd set that up as, yeah, it's the same. Oh, it's the pro whatever. Oh, does pro experimental have tools? Maybe research should not be that. I think pro experimental actually has like built-in tooling. Let's see here. Let's go to AI Studio and just take a quick look real quick. So if I look at AI Studio and I go to Pro Preview, so I get 5 requests per minute, 25 total per day, first of all. But it does do structured output or function calling or code execution or grounding. So yeah, I mean, it should have all of that. Maybe I've already used up my credits. So then if I look at Flash Preview, I can get up to 10 requests per minute, 500 requests per day. Yeah, I think this is another really great, like, all right. So it kind of built it out on its own. Sorry, I keep starting sentences and then getting sidetracked. Welcome to ADHD development with Corey. Yeah, I mean that. It's not inaccurate, but I'm sure from a listener perspective, it could be a little bit frustrating. Like, oh man, I really wish I knew what he was gonna say right there, because that would have been really helpful. Anyways, also that is not, yeah, max tokens is 1 million. What was 3.5 Sonnet? Do I still have it open, or did I close it? I think I closed it. Anthropic console. Documentation. Nope. Wait, yes. Probably. Models. There we go. That's not what I wanted. Explorer docs. Here we go. Models. So what was this looking at? It was looking at 3.5 sonnet. 3.5 sonnet. Oh, why does it not say? I thought it said last time. 200K. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. I can't remember exactly what the output is on Google stuff. Like, I want to say they've actually claimed unlimited, but in practice, I don't know what that really looks like. All right, where are we at? Ads. Oh, we're still adding subtasks. Okay. Oh, sorry. Those are the 3.5. It was only 80. Yeah, no, 8192. Oh, it can use Llama stuff. Huh. That'd be a nice backup. Could fall over to like Olama, like a oh, what do I even have installed right now? Could fail over to something like 5.4 or like the DeepSeek R1. Like I've got the 14 billion model here working. I'm gonna try that. Oh, sorry. Should use do not disturb when I'm streaming. And then if I look at the models, and I wanted to use DeepSeek R1, I want to look at the 14B. Oh wait, did it say right there? It does. The 14B has 128,000 context window. That's I mean, it's, I think that's where it was on that. That's why okay. Anyways, it is amazing how far, I mean, I just remember not very long ago, the context windows on like any model you're running locally is at maximum 8,000, you know. Okay. I don't want to auto search because I only have so many credits. What if I give you the documentation? I mean, there's not much, honestly. Here's the AI documentation. Wow. I wonder what that is including, if it like really is just including it directly, or I wonder when I mention it, is it grabbing it? Is it doing some sort of, I don't know. And oh, you know what? That's what sorry. Okay. Let's see if that solves it. It looks like it is. It looks like it provided the information it needed. That's awesome. Okay. I think that's one of the things about like using things that have like these black boxes versus. Oh, will that even work? Oh, hey, it worked. Cool. Oh, I guess that is one thing about DeepSeek R1. I don't think that's actually tool enabled. I had created a tool. I thought I created a tool version of it. I know I did with 5.4. Not like a good tool enabled one, but there was that. I don't know. Sorry, a little bit in the weeds here. What am I missing? So I wonder if they have like a Swagger or something. What would that usually be at? It would be like at a like /API/docs or something like that. Sorry, just checking a couple of /docs. v1 docs. Okay. Yeah, since they don't have, so basically it's complaining that, you know, the documentation is not complete. It doesn't have a bunch of the implementation things like get list update. Let's see here. Before update, actually, let's give it the documentation. So here is the endpoint doc. Let's see if that helps it figure out what it needs. I probably should have. So I probably like the docs here are fairly, they're not a lot, right? At least at this point. So I probably could have provided this URL, this URL, this URL, and this URL, and covered most of it. Oh, here we go. And then okay, here we go. Those were in guides. This is the API reference. Let's see here. All right. And because we have a gigantic context window, I should be able to hold on to all this, but I think I want to grab those links so that I can like quickly copy paste them. All right, so you're gonna have that. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have this. Include the authentication stuff. Rate limits. Error handling. And then from the guide side. Okay. And create note, but then the quick start had some useful information too. Okay, sorry. Now we have all of these links that when we create new chats, we can like dump them in there for like initial context. If I had a more complicated documentation, like, you know, this is really, this is small, right? What'd I do? I'd probably focus on creating the MCP server to begin with instead of the API. So what are we doing now? We're adding the types. Oh, okay, yeah. And then when this is done, I'm gonna have it like, I don't know if the final step, let's see, what is the final step? Testing. That's cool. Just looking at the cleanup tasks. There are a bunch of cleanup tasks. A lot of it is validation and testing, actually. Build and run locally, run the docs locally, generate documentation. I definitely want to add a step in here, or yeah, like somewhere in this range, 9 to 10. Let's see here. Okay, what do we got? So we're in the types. It is vastly simplified error. Okay, that's good. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I don't think. All right, it's really changed stuff though, huh? I think it's just fine. Oh wait, no, yeah. See, it's using those. What? What? Okay, what is? Oh, it's interesting. It removed older. Well, if I delete these, then it's gonna pop up down lower, right? Nope. Yeah, now we've got problems like this. Okay. Get mem. Is that even a thing? Yeah. Meme is just a post. Yep. He meme it. He meme it. Ooh, Neon got acquired, huh? Sorry, I am split between too many things right now. All right, so conceptually update. Okay. There is no MEMS endpoint. Okay. Please can you update the subtasks for task 7 to remove references to the MEMS endpoint that doesn't exist. And there is no user's endpoint either. Okay. Update the subtasks to let's here provide implementation instructions. No, just instructions. Task for the v1 mem it endpoint instead. So yeah, I guess I should have reviewed these. Oh, I guess I definitely should have reviewed these tasks more before, at least before starting the next one. So now I've looked at 8 and I can see that it's trying to go to users. So I will tell it that, you know, there is no users endpoint and we will do the notes endpoint instead. Okay, that's a lot. Oh yeah, because so these don't exist. That's fine. Yeah. So it's saying that it needs to change things so that it creates the new, more corrected implementation and updates the expected responses and whatnot. Update the tests. Yeah, let's try and update. Let's see which ones are canceled, removed. 7.4 and 7.5. Seven point two and 7.3. 7.2 and 7.3. All right, so we're gonna try and have it run the commands. Result, success. Looks good. Result, success. Looks good. We're gonna update. So this should just be, oh no, yeah. It should be able to use the failover. Where is Taskmaster? Let's search for update task. Here we go. And is there an update sub? Oh, there is an update subtask. You're right. I had a mental slip. Because that's not what I was trying to do, right? It was just trying to... Oh, no, it was trying to update subtask. It's interesting. So the ID can, it says in the docs right here, the ID can be a string like 1.2, ID of the task 15. This is this, oh, sorry. We probably need to be looking at the subtask. Thought I clicked on it. Okay. Yeah, so it is supposed to be a string, and it's supposed to be parent ID dot subtask ID. Okay, so it is calling it correctly. Prompt, project root, ID. And it could have the absolute path to the task. Oh. Pro experience. Oh, yeah, let's make sure that I've got the right. I think that is out of date. Oh, wait. That's Flash Preview Pro. Yeah. Okay, yep, that's out of date too. All right. Try that. And then I don't know if I need to restart the Taskmaster thing. Let's just reload real quick. Oh, not that. All right. Can you try? That's here. I fixed the model issue. Can you please try using the subtask tool again? Ah. I wonder why it's saying OpenAI API error. Maybe because it's using the OpenAI API SDK. Let's see here. So this used to have something that I really liked, and it was just this thing that gave you the code. Oh, there we go. This is the same one that I just used. Pretty sure it is. Oh wait, that's the Flash preview again. Darn it. How'd I end up back on that? Because I clicked on it? Because I did this to myself? Probably. Yeah, it looks the same. Pro preview 5.6. 2.5 Pro preview 5.6. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. Oh. What? I thought I bet there must have been an autocomplete thing there. I'll go back in the video and I'll see that I totally just didn't do it though. Also curious why it's not using the failover, but come on, you can do it. I probably need to restart the server or we'll just do this. It probably is loading the config when it starts the server, because it's like basically running an npx command and starting a local server. All right. Now, if it doesn't do it this time, well, we got a new error. Provider, Google, yes. I wonder which one it's... Well, it's definitely using the research one. I feel like this is the right model for research. Let's try the Flash preview. Maybe I ran out of credits. Even the Flash... Might need to go back to like 2.0. Sorry, if this doesn't work, I might need to go back to like the Gemini 2.0 models. No. I guess I can go back to... I can try Claude again. Sorry, trying to find... Sorry, I'm going dark. Models, I need the models. Okay, so Opus was the cheaper one. And what's the pricing? There we go. So 3.5. So Sonnet is the same regardless of 3.5 or 3.7. 3.5 Haiku is the cheaper one. 3 Haiku is the cheapest. So for reference, just pull it over. This is what I'm looking at. If I went 3 Haiku, it would be, but Opus is expensive. Was Opus supposed to be a better model? I can't remember. Was it Haiku, Sonnet, and then Opus? Anyways. Oh, yeah. So Haiku's the fastest. I'm going to try and use, so let's just try. And use the 3.7 latest. 3.7 Sonnet latest. And then we're going to have to restart again. Oh, sorry, it is not 1 million tokens, though. It is 64,000. One more time. Okay. And if this doesn't work, I will just, whatever. I'm dropping things. Throwing things. All right. Did it work? Yay! What did it cost me? $1? That is the real question. Like, even if this works, awesome. Is it cost prohibitive? API keys. So this says now. Okay, so at this point, it cost me 1 cent, or a fraction of a cent. So let's see if does running that cost me 2 cents now? No, so far it's still just 1 cent. So I'm under however many. Where's the usage? Here we go. Yeah, okay. So to do those, it costs 2,887 tokens in and 840 out. Yeah, so I mean, a total of about under 4,000 tokens. So yeah, that's gonna be cheap. What does that mean for? Let's see, how many could I? Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's still working. Sorry. Sorry, thinking. I'm probably gonna have to take a break here soon, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping to get through all of this in a single session, but I am running on how long have I been going now? Almost 2.5 hours. Okay. Yes, let's test. Yeah, so I've been running like almost 2.5 hours. I need to take a break. I need to get some food. I have a interview coming up in a little over an hour, and I need to be prepared. Although this was part of preparing for it. Yes. Yes. I wonder if that understands that. That's fine. Okay. So it did not get nearly the progress on the API that I wanted to get. It is working through it. I appreciate the way that it's written it so far. This is a lot like I would expect to see in a relatively clean library. But based on the simplicity of the API in general, I think that this is still really excessive. Not excessive, overly complicated. If I was writing this by hand, I feel like I would have finished already. It wouldn't be nearly as clean. Like, it would be a proof of concept that needed work, but it would already be working, and I would be figuring out how to put together the docs in the MCP server. Like, and we're not even there yet. So, yeah, I'd love to refine my specifications, my initial basic specifications, and like do like just drop it in directly into the agent and see where it would go with that versus this. But anyways, I will probably end up continuing to work on this offline, just because I want to see if I can get this finished, at least in a 1.0, but I also need to get all these other things done, and I'm not going to sit here and chew food in everybody's ear. So I will figure out what else I can glean from all of this, and then I will do some other tests, and maybe when I'm doing those tests, I can bring you all back, and we can kind of go through some of that together, see what we can learn. So far, what I would say is that Taskmaster is a really great concept, but especially with the way that the models need to be configured and that you're paying for credits when you're already using something like Cursor, I don't know. If they could link it back into using the agent in Cursor, I mean, that's probably not realistic, but that would be great, you know. As it stands, it's a lot of extra stuff, a lot of extra steps, and I'm not sure it justifies its abilities yet, but I could definitely see they keep working on this. This is going to be a fantastic thing to use, especially for bigger projects. Anyhow, thanks everybody who dropped by. Appreciate you all, and until next time, happy hacking.